Hi everyone, can you hear me? I know you can't see me at the moment, you should just be able to see my desk. But it's saying I'm live and I can see that there's 21 people here already. Blimey O'Reilly. So I can see Patty H, hello, something must be off with the start time. YouTube shows 12:55. Oh no. I don't know, but it's always 5 p.m. UK time. Donna Jo saying, I wondered what's happened. I've been looking to see if she's posted anything. No, I'm here. So if you can hear me, if somebody can let me know. Hi, Rachel. Patty's saying I will give it a few minutes. Hopefully she will work out whatever she's going on. I presumed it was normal 5 p.m. It is normal 5 p.m. I'm not sure what YouTube has put. Hi, Terry. Donna saying, I'm watching anyway. Has the US time changed for spring? I think it has, hasn't it? It hasn't in the UK yet. Next weekend in the UK. Yeah, it should be recorded. I can literally see loads of, oh, Terry saying you can hear me, Karen saying you can hear me, Denise can hear fine. Oh, brilliant. Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure everything was okay. I'm going to start at my computer because I'm going to be using Canvas Workspace for computer. But I just wanted to make sure that everything was set up. So I'll flip the screen in a minute and I'm just going to go back and see all your comments. Hi, Anita, hope you're okay. Maggie saying you can hear me. Hi, Debbie in South Carolina. Hi, Elaine. Hi, Wendy. Linda, thank you. Hi, Sandra. Yes, can see the desk in here. Brilliant. Thanks, Patty. Maria, yes. Hi, Ashley from Leicester. That's Denise. Yeah, hi. And Karen's saying hello. Tammy, Arkansas. Wow, welcome. So we can see there's about 31 of you that have jumped on now. Literally, when I hit the go live and it showed up on my phone, it said 10 and then instantly it went to 21 and now it's going to 33. So Donna Jo's saying, I forgot your time change again. Hi, Vicky in New Zealand. Hi, Barbara, hope you're okay. Alison, you can hear me fine. Vicky, there is a time difference for some countries. US and Canada changed last weekend. Okay, so for the UK, it's next weekend. It's the Saturday night, it's kind of early hours of Sunday morning, so 27th going into the 28th. Mandy G saying just finishing a census. Yep, that's fine. Right, okay, let me just swap screens. Okay, let's get rid of that. Excuse me. I'll give it a couple more minutes. I'm not going to start before 5. Mine says 35. Yeah, mine says 35 as well on the live chat. Oh, 38 now. So we've got Wendy. Yeah, brilliant. You're all jumping on. So, as I say, I'm just going to give it a few more minutes. But basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to attempt to do one of the paper paste designs. Hi, Rachel. I'm well, thank you. Are you? That's in Canvas Workspace. Now, you can view it in Canvas Workspace online, but you don't appear to be able to make it into a paste design. So to make it into a paste design, you've got to use Canvas Workspace for computers. So that's what I've got loaded up here. I'm going to show you how to find it, because I think it's one that could be easily overlooked. I've overlooked it in the past. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Then I'm going to send it over to my ScanNCut machine. Hopefully then we're going to create the project, and then we can look at some other shapes. I know I've done using the piercing tools before, but it was last year, and I think, you know, more and more people buy these machines, you know, basically weekly or monthly, you know, whenever they're in stock and that kind of thing. And I think it helps just to go over some of the things. I will say before we go any further that the paper piercing kit is only available for the DX or the SDX models. So basically any of the machine that has the auto blade technology. But as I said, you know, it may be that you're not interested, and you know, if that's the case, fair enough. But it may be something that you've not seen and you might want to see how it works. It may be something you've been thinking of buying, and this may either, you know, make your mind up, no I don't want it, or yes I do. So that's why I just thought I would cover it again, and I found this project in Canvas Workspace, so we might as well use it. Okay, so I've got that we're on about 5 minutes now. So I think what we'll do is we'll make a start. Just make sure that everybody is okay. Wendy's got the kit. Rachel's saying stuck in bedroom, so you're now on the big TV. Oh no, I haven't purchased the piercing kit yet. Patty's saying, does it require an activation card? It comes with an activation card basically. So you buy the kit from memory, because I've had mine a while now and my memory actually is getting quite shocking. But from memory, you get the 2 piercing tools, you get the piercing holder, you get the piercing mat, which enables you to pierce and cut. And then it comes with an activation card that gives you these designs within your Canvas workspace that we can look at, because we're going to incorporate one of them into this project. And then within the Canvas workspace project is this one I'm going to show today. So Linda's saying any review is a good thing, thank you. Okay, hi Jenny. Linda's also got the kit. Right, so I've literally opened up Canvas workspace for computer, and this is what you see when you open it. So I've not gone any further than this. And then obviously if you start to scroll through all these projects, all the projects that are in Canvas workspace, you know, they're all free, will all show up here. I seem to struggle finding it. I don't think the picture of it, to be fair, is that great. So the way I'm going to do it is up here in the top is a search box, and I'm just going to type Pierce in here, if I can spell it, and I'm going to hit enter on the keyboard, and it's going to bring up the 2 projects that are in Canvas workspace that have got the word Pierce or Pierce in the title, and it's this first one. So I'm going to select it, and it shows you a picture of it here. It shows you that there are 2 mats. There's a little video that you can go and watch, which we don't want to at the moment. Oh, good grief. You can watch if you want to go back, you know, after I've done the live. There's a PDF which they call the recipe, which you can download, and it will basically, it tells you, or I'm assuming it will because I've not looked at it. I'm guessing it's going to tell you, you know, what products you need. So as I say, there are 2 mats. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to left click on mat A, and I'm just going to minimize that for a minute, and that's going to put mat A onto the mat on my screen. Okay, let me just see. Sue saying hope we're all okay. Ooh, hope we're all okay. Wendy Sue's saying, really, you can use the mat for cutting? Yes, you can pierce and cut on it. Anita is saying, I'm upgrading this year, so good to learn ahead. Yeah, you know, it may be something you think, no, I'm not going to use that. It may be something that you think, actually, I might use that. So at least if we just go over it again. Tammy is saying, where did you get the kit from? Tammy, I'm in the UK and I got mine from makerssuperstore.com. They will ship worldwide, but if you're in the USA, then I'm guessing that any brother retailer or Amazon, somewhere like that, I'm sure somebody will jump in and let you know. I have a new SDX machine. I've used it twice. I'm planning to make my small bedroom into a craft den, but I'm the biggest procrastinator going, is there a cure? Please let me know. Oh, Elaine, tell me about it. You probably mostly on here all know that I am now in one room. So basically the room I'm in is at the front of the house, and this was my office. And my craft room was in the room next door, which faced south and is very, very light. And although it's a nice bigger room and I'd love to still be in there, I decided a few months ago that I was going to move my craft room into my office. So I've come into a lot smaller room and everything's in here now and it's great. But I find sometimes I come in the morning and I put my computer on and I check my emails, and probably all night while I've been in bed, I've had projects going around in my head that I know that I want to try or have a go at or get started on. And then I come down and I just sit and twiddle my thumbs and procrastinate. So you're not alone. I can tell you it happens to me all the time. And I just don't understand it, because like I say, most nights I've got projects going around in my head while I'm sleeping. I don't actually get any sleep, I think. Right, I'm digressing now. Sorry, that was a bit of a swerve, wasn't it? Can you maximise your canvas window? Yes, I sure can. Let me see if I can make this a bit bigger. Vicky, is that any better? Alison's saying I'm the same. I haven't found a cure yet either. Oh no, we're all rubbish, aren't we? Okay, so this is mat A. Okay, so there's mat A, which is the envelope, and mat B, which is the letter portion. Charlotte's saying, for me, I think my procrastination is actually indecision. Well, that's probably at least one step up from procrastination. We should hold a... yeah, we should actually make a club and hold each other accountable. You're right. That is me, procrastination. Okay, right, so let's have a look at this. So we've got the envelope. We've got this dash line here. What do I do first, etc. Okay, so let me just click off this. So there's a dashed line here that's on the center of the envelope, okay? But when you click on it, now I can't get it. Oops, hang on, let me click off. I'm going to go to the layers. Let me go to the layers, it's easier. So let me find which one I want. That's the envelope. That's that line, that's that line, that's that line, that's that line. So these should all be grouped. Okay, so let's go back to the edit icon. In fact, we'll go back to the properties. So this dash line here shows us a dash line on the screen, and up here it shows us a cut. So what you need to do, if you were doing this in card and you wanted to cut those dash lines, then you could leave that as it is. I did have a quick look at that video that's with this project in Canvas yesterday, and what they've done, because obviously this is a piercing project, you then go into where it says cut and you come down and you make it a pierce line. so that when we send this over to the ScanNCut and we activate the piercing function and we put the piercing tool, instead of it cutting dashed lines, it will pierce holes. Okay, so that's the first thing. I'm just going to left click off it. I'm not sure how well you'll see it, but basically I can see now that what was dashed lines here around the centre of this envelope are now little dots. And then the next thing is these red boxes here. So if I click on the red boxes, you can see that I'm on them because it's showing up as red here. If I go to the layers panel, it's highlighted here under grouped. They're grouped together. And these are basically placeholders. But again, if you've got the piercing kit and you didn't necessarily want to use this kit for piercing, you could assign these as draw lines and draw them on the front of your envelope and then maybe stamp in them or something like that. But basically, I'm just going to follow what I saw in the video that comes with this project yesterday. So what you do now, over here where you've got all your basic shapes and your text and all that kind of thing, you've got this row of icons. This one here that looks a bit like a flower on the left with dots in it is the piercing designs that come with the activation card once you buy the piercing kit. So what they did, they used this design here. So it's like a corner and it's like a circle and it's dots. So I'm going to drag it over and just drop it where this red box is. And then I'm going to just position it over that red box because, like I say, that red box is basically a placeholder. So you can either then come back over and drag another one, or with it selected, you can right click and make a duplicate. And then I'm going to use the rotate handle. I'm going to hold my shift key down on my keyboard and just rotate it. That is in theory just meant to keep it in order, not to go out of shape or not end up at a funny angle that you don't want. So now I'm going to drag it over and I'm going to place it on top of that red box. So now in my layers panel, which is over here, which is the fourth icon down on the right hand side, I can either turn off the squares or delete them altogether. So I'm just going to delete them. So I'm going to right click and hit delete. Oh, I've deleted the wrong one. So let's undo that. And then I'm going to come, no, I haven't. Yeah, okay. So here's the red box. So with it selected, I'm just going to right click and hit delete. So when I click away now, I've got the pierced corner that I rotated, and I've got the pierced corner both positioned where those red boxes, which were the placeholders. Okay, now I can't remember whether these are meant to be pierced or they clearly can't meant to be cut because they'd cut into the envelope. And I can't remember whether we meant to draw them or pierce them. I think, oh, I've done the wrong ones, haven't I? Stupid woman. Right, okay. So these blue ones are the ones that are meant to be pierced. Sorry. So I'm going to select them, go up to where it says cut and make them pierce. The other ones are the ones that are meant to be dashed because they're the fold lines for the envelope. So let's go and find them. So it was this set down here. So they're the ones that need to be left as a cut dash line. but I need to change it because I've messed up. So let's go back. So we've got cut and pattern is going to be a dash. Okay, so let's just recap. So the matte came in. This big rectangle here needs to be left as a cut dash line because that's basically your fold lines for your envelope. Sorry to confuse you all. This blue element that's the corner here is the one that you change to the pierce line, and then the red squares were placement holders for dragging in the pierce design from over here within your patterns. So is everybody with that okay so far? Sorry to mess up there already and confuse you. Lynn's saying sorry she's late, just back from walking the dogs. It's no problem, Lynn, that's fine, don't worry. It should be recorded. Vicky's saying close and come back in. So somebody's lost the sound. Okay, log out and log back in, they're all saying to you. I tried, it's not coming back. Maybe refresh the page. Have you tried that? So Vicky's saying we can still hear. Have you accidentally muted your computer? Okay, so at least you can all still hear me. Okay, that's fine. Right, so this is what we've got so far. So this is matte and this is what they cut in vellum. So now I'm going to drag an imaginary box around everything. Charlotte's saying makes sense and I still like to see you problem solve. Well, it wouldn't be alive, would it, without me messing up? So, you know I'm human and I mess up all the time. Yes, very clever. We're great. Yes, got it. Okay, brilliant. Hi, Lisa. So with everything selected, I'm going to right click and make it a group. So that is matte A. That's clear, actually helped me seeing the mistakes. Brilliant. Okay, can hear me. Terry's saying, right. So I'm going to send this over to the ScanNCut machine and then I'm going to come back and get matte B. So I'm going to come up to the top of my page and I'm going to click where it says file and I'm going to come down to where it says export/transfer FCM file, and I'm going to use transfer FCM file via the internet, and that's going to send matte A, and we're just going to say okay, and that's going to send this matte A now over to the ScanNCut machine. So I'm just going to flip you over to the machine. We'll go and retrieve the file, I'll save it in the machine and then we'll come back here to Canvas and we'll get the letter, do what we need to do if there's anything that needs to be done with that and send that over to the machine, and then everything's over on the machine and I can move over to the other desk and we can get piercing and cutting. So let me just come over to the ScanNCut. And it's gone to sleep, so I'm just going to wake it up. So hopefully now, I just can't see your comments for a minute because I've left my phone next to my computer, but I'll be back in a few minutes. So you should hopefully be able to see. In fact, I'll just make sure you can see the screen. So Judy's saying, could you show us all the designs in the kit? Yeah, when I come back to the computer, Judy, I'll do that in a minute. If you can just all let me know that you can see the ScanNCut machine. I can see it on my phone, so I'm assuming that you all can, but there's no point in me jabbering away if you're not seeing what I think you're seeing. Alison's saying sorry. She's like, don't worry, I hope you're okay, Alison. In fact, I'll bring my phone over with me. I'm sure you should all be able to see the ScanNCut. good shot of my machine so you can all see that. Brilliant. Okay, so you've just watched me send the file over. So basically I'm going to come to retrieve data. We were in Canvas, so it's the top right hand icon. So this basically is like Canvas for online and Canvas for computer. So I'm going to choose that and it will bring up my design. So first thing I'm going to do is just click save, and I'm just going to save it into the machine for now. And once that's saved, I'm going to come back to my computer and we'll have a quick look at the designs and then we'll get map B. Okay, so that's saying it's been saved. So that's fine for now. So we'll just hit the home button and leave it like that for now. So let's come back to Canvas. Excuse me. So I'm going to come to the top left hand icon, which is going to bring me back to where the projects are. I'm going to type Pierce again, find the project, and this time I want map B. Okay, so I'm just going to select it. You think nothing's happened, but when you close the box down, it's there. Now I don't need the envelope because I've sent it over to the machine, so I'm just going to select it and hit delete on my keyboard. So again, we've got red boxes, which are placeholders, and we've got this blue line, which is what we need to change to piercing. So I'm going to select it. I'm going to come over. I'm still under the properties over here on the right hand side. Where it says cut, I'm going to change that to pierce. And one thing I forgot to do on the envelope, but we'll leave it and we'll see how it looks. I can't remember whether they did this on the letter, but on the envelope sorry about that. In the video on the envelope, they changed the dot spacing to 3.0. So we'll change it on the letter. Hang on. Oh, I'm in inches. No, I'm not going to change it. Sorry, forget that. Sorry. I'm going to leave it because they were in millimeters, I think, from memory. I'm going to leave it as it is. So let's just recap. So I've clicked on the blue corner and I've changed it to piercing, and I'm leaving the dot spacing as it is. I'm going to come back over to where all the designs are and grab the corner and drop the corner over that red placement box. Okay. Then again, you can either right click and duplicate it, or you can drag it from the side, whichever you prefer. And I'm just going to rotate it and position it over that red corner. So we've basically got this outside edge is a cut line. This is what they're calling their letter. We've got a blue dashed corner in opposite corners, and then we've got the pierced design. So again, we need to get rid of the red boxes. So if you go into the layers and you click on the red sections, you can see them here and they're grouped together, I think. I'm just going to right click and hit delete, and I'm going to select the other one and right click and hit delete. So this is what we've got. This is the letter. So again, I'm just going to drag an imaginary box around everything. I'm going to right click, make it a group. I'm going to come up to the top of the page and I'm going to go File, Export, and then Transfer via the internet. And that sent that part over now to the ScanNCut. So when we go back over there in a few minutes, we'll retrieve it and we'll save it into the machine again, and then we've got both elements for the design. So I'm going to say OK. Right, so now somebody asked if I could show the designs. So I'm just going to delete that off the page because I've sent it over. So basically these are the designs that come on the activation card. So for the person that asked me, can I show you, and I've forgotten your name already, I'm really sorry. Basically you've got all these designs here. So you've got like snowflakes, starbursts, there's a ring. I've cut that, or I should say I've pierced that. I think I may have shown that last time. You've got this kind of heart design. That's lovely, kind of a leaf design. That would be pretty. You've got the rose. Alison's saying, did the splits on wet decking on Tuesday and left knee went the wrong way? Oh no, Alison. Oh, good grief. Dearie me, be careful. Yeah. We've got like Indian stone on our balconies. We have a big balcony at the back of our house, and we have a balcony on another section, and it's all Indian stone. And I bought some stuff the other day, funnily enough, that you're supposed to spray it on and then you scrub it and wash it off. So that's what I'm going to be doing in the next week or so. Right, okay, let's carry on and we'll just have a quick look at these. So this is lovely. I like this one. Look at this. This is like, I don't know what are they daisies or sunflowers or something like that. Now, one thing I will say, these look as though you can't resize them. The preset designs, because there's no drag handles to let you adjust them. And if we go into the edit function, the width and height are grayed out. So these are like set sizes. There's this one. Let's just get rid of them and we'll have a look at a few more. That's the one I'm using now. This one's pretty. Look at that one. That's a bit like that individual leaf, but as a corner. And then you've got some frames. So let's just move this out of the way. That's a pretty one, all kind of like diamond type frames. I'm just running through them quickly because obviously I want to get to the, you know, the actual project. Then there's some more. Can you convert a normal file? Yes, you can, Mandy. And that was what I was going to say in a minute. These are not resizable, but if you convert something into a pierce file, then you can size it. This one's pretty. Let's see if this one comes on. Let's move this out of the way. That one, it's kind of like got like shell edging, and that's got an oval in the middle, so that would be nice. You could maybe put a greeting in the middle, or maybe put a photograph in that. You know, if you made that as a Christmas card and put a picture of the family in it or something like that. Let's just grab one more and then we'll go over to the project. Just make a bit of space on this mat. That one, that's nice. So there's quite a few patterns in here. Excuse me, dearie me. Let me just make a bit of space. Whenever I'm screen sharing in Canvas for Computer, it always works slow. I'll just show you a couple more and then we'll go over. Look at these are pretty. Oh, that's nice, I like that. You could maybe make 4 of those into like a frame. Unfortunately, Mandy, no, it's only for the DX and the SDX models. And that's what I was saying at the beginning about, you know, if anybody didn't want to watch, you know, I fully understand. But, you know, brother do these things and they just seem to be kind of catering certain things for the DX or SDX models. So, right, so that's the designs that come within the activation kit, but you can make something into a pierced design. So if you go into your basic shapes, we'll just look at this very quickly because we can look at it on the machine. And let's just choose a heart, just a plain heart, okay? So that's the basic heart that you can see the size options lit up now. So we could make this bigger if we wanted to. Then if we go into the properties, we can go into here and we can change that to a pierced heart. So you can pierce your text, you can pierce shapes, but the what am I trying to say? The pre-installed piercing shapes that come with the kit are not sizable. So Barbara's saying the kit seemed expensive, but there are a lot of patterns. Yeah, there are quite a few, you know, that come with it. But I think the fact that you can turn other things into piercing designs makes it more usable. So you're not just restricted to the ones that come within here. Kathy, don't worry about it. It's fine. It should be recorded. So Mandy's saying you still love watching. Oh, bless you. These are nice. Hope they bring out more to add on. They probably will. They might even be, if you go and have a look in, you know, the Canvas projects, there might even be more. Wendy's saying my self-service doesn't appear to be working, so switch to Wi-Fi. Okay, right. So let's just go back over to the machine and then we can get this project underway. Hopefully. So I'm going to flip you back to the ScanNCut and let's just come to the desk view first. So I'm just going to try and zoom in on this little card. This has been hung on my board that's behind my desk. See if you can see this, if it'll focus. This was a card I made. If I hold it up, can you see? So this is just a basic star that I sized from within the machine, and I added the piercing line on it, which is basically just an offset, an inward offset, and pierced an inward offset. And then all as I did with this one, let me zoom back out again now. This is just a regular A4 piece of card cut in half on the short side. So in the UK on our 8 1/4 inch side. Then I chopped the star in half and just stuck it on the front of the card on dimensionals, and I cut some flowers and I wrote happy birthday with a pen. Don't know if I did this in the live. I may have just made this but shown you how to do the star in the last video or live I did using the piercing tool. But where I sit at my other desk, I have a board behind me and I've got like projects that I've made hanging on there, and this is one that I just pulled down from before. So when you were saying, can you use your own shapes? This is one of my own shapes. So this is what comes with the kit. So this is the piercing mat. It's the same size mat as all your other mats, but it has like a black rubbery sticky surface on it, if you like, where you would normally have the grid. And then it comes with 2 piercing tools and the holder, and it came with the activation card, which you activate in Canvas for computer, and they're the designs. Okay, so that's everything that's in the kit. Let me just see what people are saying. I have so much, but not buying stitch dies. It has paid for itself. I like the fact you can pay in monthly installments. I love the edge of the star. Yeah, it's one of my favourite cards and it's just so simple. That's what I was thinking. Elaine saying from Maker Superstore. I've obviously missed some comments, but yeah, I got mine from Maker Superstore. What a smart star card. Love the font too. The font is... do you know, I'm not sure. It could be... it could be... I think there's a font called Zafina. It could be that, or it could be Astina, both of which are available from Dafont, but I honestly can't remember. I need to start putting the date on these things so I can tell you when I made them, but I can't remember. But yeah, and that's just drawn with a very fine tip pen by the look of it. If I bring it up, can you see it? I don't know if it takes a minute or so to focus. But yeah, simple card, but nice. How thick is the piercing mat? Let me just pull the plastic off it. One thing I would say about this mat is it's very sticky. And I don't notice it as much now, but it used to make my craft room smell for a while. Kind of a, I don't know, like a rubbery smell, or I'm not really sure, but it did make my craft room smell for a while, but I don't notice it now. So Vicky, the mat itself, the main body of the mat is just, you know, the same thickness as a standard mat. I honestly don't know how thick the black section is. I'm guessing maybe half a milli or a milli. Trying to see if I've got... not sure. Maybe about half a milli or a milli, this black section. What distance do I use most often? I honestly don't know. I mean, for the ones that are in canvas, I would probably just go with what they say. But I know I have experimented. We'll have a look. If we've got some time, we'll have a look. I just want to try and see if we can get this particular project done. So Heather's saying, with the preset piercing, could you set up a design to pierce and then cut it out using an outward offset on the SDX? Yes, you should be able to. I was wondering how to use the paper piercing mat. Okay, fine. Right, so first thing I'm going to do, let's flip over to the ScanNCut because we need to retrieve part B. So I'm just waiting for it to catch up. You should be able to see the ScanNCut screen, hopefully. So I'm going to go to retrieve data. I'm going to go from canvas because that's where I sent it over from. And here is what they were calling mat B. So I'm going to save that again into the machine. So while that's saving, I've got some vellum somewhere. Okay, so we'll say OK. We'll hit the home button because everything's saved. We'll go retrieve data from the machine. I'm going to jump to the last page and find the envelope, which was mat A, and say OK. I'm just going to come back to my desk view, try and zoom out as much as I can. And I've just got some plain vellum. So I'm just going to put this piece of vellum on this mat. As I say, this mat is really, really sticky. So I don't really want to rub it down too much. And all those marks are just where I've off my hands. I think that they should come off hopefully when I peel it away. If you plan on using an offset and then cut, you will want to change mats or you may damage the piercing mat. No, you cut on the piercing mat. It's meant for piercing and cutting. So Cherie is saying the font used on the star was Estina. Thank you. Okay. Right, so we've got the vellum on the mat. Let's go back to the machine. I'm just going to load this mat. Right, I want to just try and angle you down a little bit. So hopefully you can see some of the mat at least. So here's my envelope. So I'm going to do a background scan before we do anything. So I'm just going to hit the background scan and start. It's telling me to move the lever. So I'm just going to do as I'm told and move the lever and press start. And while that's doing that, I'm just going to come back to my desk. And these are the two piercing tools that come with your kit. One says 0.4 milli and one says 0.8, just on the top of them. Not sure how well you'll see that. And from memory, I think it was the 0.8 that they used. So basically, they've got this end on and you just pull it off, and I always struggle to pull it off. And it's the size of the tip that's the number, okay? And then you get this holder, as you do with most things that come with the ScanNCut. You always seem to have to put everything in a holder for where your blade goes. So this is your piercing tool holder, and it's got a picture of the piercing tool on the front, so you shouldn't be able to get confused with this one like I did with all the pen holders the other week. You just unscrew the lid, drop your holder in so that you can see the little pink piece of paper on the top, and it shows the number, and then you put the lid back on and screw it down, and that just holds the piercing tool in the holder. Okay, so let's go back to the ScanNCut machine. I'm going to take the blade out and put the piercing tool in where the blade goes, and I'm just going to go into the settings and just make this lighter and see if I can see this any better. Now, it doesn't look great. It doesn't look as though my envelope is going to fit on my piece of vellum. I'm using A4 vellum, and it doesn't look as though it's going to fit. So, and I don't think I've got any bigger vellum. Wonder if it'll let me size it with that piercing thing on it. Let's try this. So object edit. Let's see if it will let me take it down. No, it won't, because I've got the piercing design in there. So let's see what else we've got that we can use. Don't think I've got any bigger vellum. So we need something that's 12 by 12, and I've not got any vellum. Blimey, I didn't realise, I thought it would fit. So let's see, should we just do it from a piece of card? So in their video they use vellum, and obviously I've not paid attention and I didn't notice what size of vellum they've used. So what we'll do, so you should be able to still see my screen. I'm going to peel the vellum off this mat because I can't use it. And I'm going to use a piece of card instead. So I'm going to put a piece of 12 by 12 card on this mat, rub it down lightly, and I'm going to just do a background scan again just to make sure that I'm okay with this one. So let's just do start. So best laid plans and all that, you know, we're improvising again. It wouldn't, it's hanging off, so no, I don't think I could flip it. That's what I was looking at, and I was looking to see if I could rotate it, but I still don't think it would fit looking at how it was positioned. So we'll go with the card and see what happens. I'm going to change the background to the darker background. This literally just fits in height on the 12 by 12, but this is okay in the width. But it was the flaps were hanging off and part of the envelope was hanging off. So Vicky's saying just use it anyway. What, with the smaller flaps? Should we try it with the card now and then we'll go back to the vellum? Yeah, should we do that? Now I've got the piece of card. Oh shoot, vellum would be so pretty. Right, well, we'll do it in card. And then if you're not bothered about the fact that my piece of vellum isn't big enough, we'll cut it in vellum anyway, and then you can see what it looks like. I think it is too big to rotate, but I'll have another look in a minute. What about baking paper? Yeah, don't see why not. I suppose you could use anything. I've just not got anything handy. Stampin' Up used to do envelope paper. They did, you're right. And I can't remember whether they do 12 by 12 vellum. This vellum I'm using is Stampin' Up, but it's obviously only A4. Right, let's crack on. We'll do it this way for now, and then we'll try the vellum again in a minute. So we've got a piece of cardstock now. We've got the piercing tool in. I'm going to say okay. And actually, I think I need to go back. I want to go into the wrench and see if I can find the... Let's just keep going. We'll do select. Let's scroll down. We'll do pierce. I need to switch the piercing on. So I'm just going to... So I've got pierce. I need to go to the wrench and it won't let me go. So let's go back. Let's go, I might have to go to the go home because I can't get to the piercing functions. Can I do it in edit, object, edit, pierce? Here we go. Right, so edit, object, edit, choose the piercing icon, switch it on. Now the dot spacing is 0.047 of an inch. And that's the default, and I know it's the default because it's in a black box with white text. I'm going to say okay. So everything I think appears to be in the right place. I've got the piercing on. I've selected piercing here. Double check, pierce, yeah. Let's just press start and see what happens. And while that's doing that, I'm going to come back to the comments because there's loads of comments scrolling through that I've missed. So let me see what you're all saying. So Stampin' Up has 12 by 12 vellum. Okay, oh shoot, vellum would have been so pretty. Baking paper, we've got that one. Plenty of crafting to do, less ironing, won't tell Jim. Stampin' Up used to do envelope paper. Yeah, I've seen all that, sorry. So Alison's saying, could anyone ask Brother why they are excluding all of us that don't have a DX, etc.? I know I don't know what they're doing. I mean, I don't work for Brother, as you know. I have nothing to do with them. It just seems to me that now they've gone to the auto blade machine, that they're only bringing most things out for, you know, the DX and SDX. I think the CM900 is being phased out. If you look, if you go to the Brother website and try and find the machine comparisons, there's actually a link from my website to the Brother website to the machine comparisons, and you'll see that one by one the machines are disappearing off there. So Wendy's saying, I just ran all over town yesterday looking for 6x6 envelopes. You need 12x12 to make that size too. I didn't have any. Okay. Michael's has 12x12 vellum, somebody's saying. So Vicky's saying the envelope was 11.43 high and your vellum is 11.25. Lynn's saying that Brother are always wanting to sell their upgraded machines. Can't find 12x12 vellum in Stampin' Up catalogue. Yeah, I don't know whether they do it. I didn't think they did, because the vellum I've got is A4. DX is different technology. CM900 was discontinued about 6 months ago. Yeah. Right, so it's piercing away like crazy. And you know what? I've done it wrong now, because it's piercing the whole of the envelope, which is not what I want. Oh, for goodness sake, can anything else go wrong? Let me just pause this machine. I'm piercing the wrong bit. Oh, blimey. Right, let's quit cutting and say okay. Because that's the bit it should be cutting and not piercing. Right, let me go back and just have a quick look at this design again. Sorry, everyone. Retrieve data from the machine. Let's go to the last page, find the envelope. I think it's because I grouped it. Let me just see. So let's go to OK, select cut. I think I've done it wrong in Canvas Workspace, because it's actually piercing the whole of the envelope, which is not what I want. So let's go back over and just have another look at this dratted design. So let's get rid of that. Let's go back to Canvas. Let me just have a look at this design. I'm going to call up the envelope again. So that's set as a cut line. That's my dashed line. But for some reason it's piercing the whole of my design, which is not what I want. So I'm going to drag these two elements in again very quickly, and then let's just have a look and see what I've done wrong. So I'm just going to rotate the design, go into the layers, let's delete the placement boxes. Let's go back to the properties. that should be a cut, and it's a solid line. So we've got on the envelope itself, cut, solid line. They're pierced lines. We need to change the angled lines. So I'm going to select that, come back to the properties, make that a pierce, go back and choose the other one, make that a pierce. We'll get there with this project in the end, won't we? This might be all we have time to do tonight. Come to the layers. They're already pierced. So we just want this one. And this is the one that needs to be cut but dashed. Okay, I think we're right now. So we've got a solid cut line for the envelope. We've got a dashed cut line for the fold lines. And then the corners and the bits that are blue on here should be pierced. So I'm going to send this over to the machine again. Oh no. So file, export, transfer to the machine. Okay. Right, I need another piece of 12 by 12 card. So let's get another piece of 12 by 12 card. Take this off. Right, let's go back. It seems to have gone very dark all of a sudden, so I'm going to put all my lights on. So if we start to get glare, let me know. So I'm going to put this piece of card on. I'm going to have a look at it again. So does the machine know which blade is in? Well, I'm guessing it does because I chose pierce, but I'm not sure. It's a good lesson on the perseverance, if nothing else. I've just watched Independent Crafter on Makers Live. Everything went wrong for her as well. Well, everything's always going wrong for me. It wouldn't be a flipping live, would it, if things didn't go wrong? Right, so we should be back at the ScanNCut machine. I am just going to hit the home button. I'm going to go to retrieve data from Canvas. There's my envelope. I'm going to save it into the machine. And before I do anything, I'm just going to look at each element. So let's just save it first and then we'll see what happens. So I'm going to say OK because it's saved. Hit the home button and OK to delete. Right, retrieve data from the machine. I'm going to jump to the last design and that's my envelope. OK. I'm going to say, OK, do a quick background scan. This is what you get when you don't pre-try something out. I think you're right, Lynn. I think it because I grouped it. I think you could be right. That's why I want to just have a quick look at this now. So this all appears to be on positioned okay for this piece of 12 by 12 orange card I've got now. So let's see, let's go OK. In fact, no, let's go back. Let's go into edit, object edit, and just have a look. So the piercing is greyed out. So let's just keep going and see what happens. So we'll go select. Let me scroll down to pierce and see what comes up. That's better. That's what we want. Right, let me zoom in. Can you see? Hang on. So I've chosen pierce, and the only bits that are showing as pierce now are the bits that should be, okay, which are the corners I put in where those red positioning boxes were. And you remember those blue lines that I changed? This is more like it now. We should be getting somewhere. Right, I'm going to zoom you back out. Excuse me. I'm going to say start, because I've got the piercing tool in. Let's see if it does it right this time. Righty-ho, so that I think is doing what it should do now. So let me come back and see. So I think you're right, Lynn. I think it was because I grouped everything. So when in Canvas Workspace for Computer, and I said group it all, and then I chose cut, or sorry, I chose pierce, it just wanted to pierce everything it could see, basically, despite the fact I've changed the elements within Canvas. But I think we're right now. I think it's only doing what it needs to be doing now. Vicky's saying it might cut with the cutting blade, but still don't want to go through the piercing. Don't worry, Ashley, it's a paper tutorial when problem solving it. It's a proper tutorial when problem solving is included. Hi Jason, hope you're okay. Don't worry about being late. It's basically all gone wrong up to this point. Detention again, yeah. Lynn's saying I've had one of those days today as well. Oh, bless you. Me too, my printer is on the go slow, Ali's saying. So your lives prepare us. What's it doing now? Okay, it's done those two blue, like, angled corners. Now it looks as though it's doing the scrolly corner designs. So this is more like it now, I think. I think we're back on track. Fingers crossed. Charlotte's saying your lives prepare us to scan and cut real world. Oh, yay, just piercing, yeah. She was trying to cut with a piercing tool, someone's saying. Would be useful to use that envelope design to just make quick plain envelopes, yeah. Good this has happened, we all know how to solve the problems. I've added a note to myself, don't group. Well done. So if we do this again at any time in the future, please all shout, don't group. Yeah, it's doing what it should be doing. So hopefully once this bit's finished and I say cut, it should make the dashed fold line and then cut the envelope. And then it's up to you. Do you want me to do the letter part next, which I was going to just do in white card, or do you want me to redo the envelope in Vellum? Because I'm mindful that we've been on for an hour already. I don't mind, I can be here as long as any of you want me to be. So just let me know, do you want me to go on to the next part of this design and cut what they're calling the letter next, or do you want me to do this same design in Vellum first? And if you've all got time, we'll do everything. You know, I'll do it in the card and I'll recut this envelope in the Vellum, but just be mindful that we know my Vellum isn't the right size. Hi Paul, not seen you on here for ages. You're right, it is a learning curve. And thing as well, you know, for me, it's like I've probably not used this piercing kit since the last time I did, you know, something with everybody in a previous live. So I forget as well, but I just thought I had to group it all for some reason, because for me, if you don't group things and you bring them over to the ScanNCut machine, sometimes if you touch them and move them, then your design, you know, gets cut or whatever in the wrong place. So to me, I just thought group it all and, you know, it should be okay. Oh, it's looking good though. I'll show you in a few minutes. What we're saying, yeah, great when a plan comes together. Alison's saying, oh Ashley, you're funny. It wouldn't be a YouTube live without. I know, everything always goes wrong, doesn't it, usually? Always in my lives. Anita's saying, do the letter. Would like to see it all, please. That's fine. Okay, well what we'll do is we'll do the letter that goes with it first, then we'll go back to the vellum. Please go on enjoying the live. Okay, that's fine. Heather's saying letter. I wish we had a bell to ring to get your attention. Me too. The letter to go with the envelope. Yeah, that's fine. I'll do the letter, then we'll go back to the vellum envelope. Now I'm going to do my letter in white card, okay? I'm using the Stampin' Up basic white, just the regular one, so not the thick one. Continue on, Lisa's saying, the letter, I'm greedy, I'd like to stay for, but that's fine, okay? If you're prepared to stick with me, I'll stick with you and I'll carry on and I'll do both. So don't worry. The letter would be great. Yeah, I'm going to just, while this is cutting, I'm just going to knit back to canvas and just check the letter part. The letter part is okay. Just had a quick look at it on my screen. I think the letter part's okay, so we'll call the letter part up in a minute and we'll see what happens when we choose pierce or cut. Right, let's see what we're saying. Paul's saying, because you have now named each piece shape to cut, pierce in canvas, you should be able to save it all as a group and the machine should read each. Yeah, Paul, I thought that's what I did. I honestly thought that's what I did. When I was at Canvas at the beginning, I thought I named everything and then I grouped it and it just started piercing everything. So Linda's saying, this is what I love about this group. We're all learning. Good fun on here. Oh, glad you think so, Anita. I'm like you with the grouping. I say bad words when I don't. Letter, please. It's called real life. Right, let's flip you back to my... We'll unload this. Oh, I shouldn't have unloaded it. Oh, bugger. Goodness sake. Right, I'm not going to remove it off the mat. I've unloaded it, but hopefully we should be okay. I wanted you to see the piercing, but I don't know how well you're going to see it. So, can you see that? Basically, I'm going to try and bring it closer. Right, I'm going to go back to the ScanNCut and let's carry on. So I've not removed it from the mat, but I've unloaded it from the machine. But hopefully, because I've not removed it from the mat, when I call the design back up and choose cut, it should cut it okay. So, okay, because I've finished cutting. Let's just zoom you in. I'm not sure how well you're going to see this. So I've just reloaded the mat Thankfully, I've not removed the card from the mat. This time I'm going to say, please select, I'm going to say cut. And if everything works out according to plan, we should have the envelope and the dash line, which it looks like we have. So let's just, can I move you around a little bit? I'm going to take this piercing tool out and I'm going to put my blade in. Okay, so we've still got the piercing mat, we've got the piece of card on it, we've pierced the design. Now I'm going to say cut. So I'm going to say start, and this will hopefully now cut the envelope, which may or may not make it easier to see. And what it's doing, and I've remembered this now from last time, it's cutting, but what it's doing, it kind of cuts in sections. Can you hear it? And I think Paul might know better. Is that kind of to preserve the mat because we're using the piercing mat? I've missed loads of comments. I'm going to have to just try and go back. I swear at my technical stuff, I've seen that. I just took a look on the new craft cartonage, so it will get the piercing kit. Will definitely refer to this live when I purchase it. So yeah, right, okay, so what it's doing now, it's doing the dashed fold lines. So it did the cut line first, but if we were using the normal mat and a normal cut, it would just cut in a solid continuous line. But on the piercing mat, it kind of cuts it in sections. And I kind of remember it doing that now last time. I wish there were more hours in the day for crafting. I have so many tools and supplies and not enough time to use them all. Paul's saying, yes, that's right, Ashley. Okay, thanks, Paul. I knew you'd know. Rachel's saying, if I had a swear box, I'd be rich. Same, Rachel. And if you lot hadn't have been here, I probably would have swore. Oh, blimey. Right, I think we're nearly... It's cut the outside and I think it's on its last bit of piercing. So, do you know what? It's at times like this I wish I drank. Right, let's say okay, unload, come back over to my desk. Take care, Alison. So Lynn's saying that dash line is the speed of my CM900. It's half that speed on the SD. Oh, yeah, Alison, take care. Bless you. Right, I'm going to peel this off, but I'm going to put it down flat and peel the mat away in the hope that it doesn't make all the card curl. And let's see if it's cut through. That'll be the next thing. Probably not cut through. Oh yes, it has. It puts like, what do you call them? You know, do they call them pips? You know, like little pips. You know, like you get on die cuts when you buy die cuts in a kit, and they held in place with like little pips. That's what it's doing. So it's if you can hear it click. So I'm just like putting my finger where the little pips are that are holding it in place, if that makes sense. So Vicky's saying, is there a cut line that makes a die cut? that you punch out like the punch dies. Is there a cut line that makes a die cut? Not sure what you mean. Or is this what you mean, what I'm doing now? Oops. We're nearly there, we're nearly there. Alison's saying, thanks for reminding me, Ashley, about the jingle. Right, so that's my waist. So now, not sure how well you're going to see this. If I bring it up. Kiss cut. Okay, yeah, that sounds good to me. I'm going to try and zoom you in rather than hold it up. See if that's any better. So can you see that now? So we've got the pierced line here and here. Then we've got the pierced corner. And then around here, we've got the cut dash lines, which are the fold lines. Not sure how well you're seeing this or not, but because I watch you on my iPad, and it always looks darker on my iPad because I've got like a paper-like finish on it. Right, let's crack on. So, envelope. So we've got the dash lines, we'll fold it over. I'm just going to bring the bone folder in, if I can find it, and just burnish these down a bit better. I think I need some kind of an extra light over my desk. So that's the envelope. Wow, we got there in the end. Very fancy, can't wait to see the finished design. Very clear, quite elegant, you can see it. Okay, that's great. Right, so it just needs a little bit of glue. So let's find, so I'm just going to put a little bit of glue just along these edges. So that would be how it would go together. And that's the envelope. Now let's see how big is it. So it is 7 1/4 wide by 5 1/4 high. See, I'm one step ahead of you, Terry. I'm there with my ruler already. So 7 1/4 by 5 1/4. Okay, let me just try another lamp. Just give me 1 minute while I turn around and put this on and see if this makes any difference whatsoever. So that, I'm going to zoom you back in and see if I can get this under. No, it needs to come down. Everything's backwards. Let's try and zoom you in a bit more. There you go. So 7 1/4 by 5 1/4. Then you've got the pierced design, and that's your envelope. So now we need to do the letter that goes with it. So big enough for a 5 by 7. Yeah, should be. I'm wondering if I've got a 5 by 7 card handy. Let me just see. Don't know if this is 5 by 7. Let's just have a look at this. So that's 7. Yeah, this one is. Okay, so this is one of the Valentines. Let me zoom you back out again so you don't get... This is just a Valentine's card I did for a project, and this is 7 by 5. So, there you go, and that's going to fit in there perfectly. So we know it will fit a 5x7 card. If nothing else, we've learnt that tonight. Okay, so that's the envelope. So we need to go back and find the letter now, and let's hope the letter fits on the piece of card I'm going to use. Okay, so no one's got any questions so far. Hopefully we're all okay, yeah? So I'm going to bring in a piece of white card, and then we'll try the vellum again. So I'm going to hit the home button and get rid of that. I'm going to go to retrieve data, into the machine. Just move you around a bit, sorry. Barbara's saying, like that decoration, it's where you put the stamp. Right, let's go to the last page and find the letter and see if this is going to work. So, I know you're looking at the screen, but I'm just putting a piece of white card on this piercing mat. You'll see it in a few minutes, hopefully. I'm going to load the mat into the machine. Take the blade out. Right, and then let's have a look at this design and see if I've done this one okay. So I'm going to say okay. Do we need to do anything in the object edit? Not so sure we do. So we'll just keep going. We'll keep saying okay and see what happens. I'm going to go to pierce and just see what we get. So that looks about right, I think. This one's okay. So we've got the pierce line in the corner and we've got the pierced design. So we'll get this going. So I'm just going to put the piercing tool back into the machine and we'll say start, and hopefully we'll be okay, and then I can come back to any questions or comments, and then we'll do the vellum. Rachel's saying, could you use metallic thread in the holes? I'm guessing, Rachel, that if you made the holes bigger in canvas, then I'm guessing you probably could. Let me see if I can get close up to this. Can you? Not sure how well you're going to see it, Rachel. These holes are using the biggest piercing tool, which is 0.8. But where it said dot spacing in canvas, if you made the dots further apart, then you might be able to. But having said that, I don't know whether... Oh yeah, it would let me alter the dot spacing, wouldn't it? So I think you'd need bigger holes. Right, let's see. So Vicky's saying, storm clouds are here and starting to mess up my connection. I shall have to go back my vacuum and try to watch rest later. Okay, Vicky, take care. Lynn's saying, sat looking at the beautiful sunset. Oh, bugger, now I'm piercing in the wrong place. Goodness sake. I'm going to stop this again. I didn't do a background scan, did I? Do you know, sometimes things are just sent to try you, aren't they? Let me come back. It's piercing off the mat. I'm going to say quick cutting and okay. I didn't scan the mat. Stupid woman. Right, let me find another piece of card. We'll get there. We'll get there. I put the card on the mat, didn't I? Made sure the design was okay and didn't scan it. So, I'm just going to peel this one off. Put this one on. I'm going to go back. Where's my spatula? I'm going to do a background scan and start. Oh. Yeah, right, okay, so I'm not sure how well you can see this, but you can see the black sections here. This is the mat. I need to drag the design onto the card. It was making the design in the wrong place. Oh dear. So we're going to say, okay, select, pierce, and start. Right. I've got an oops and oh dear. You are so patient. This has to be one of those days. The universe likes to mess us up sometimes. I know, is it like some kind of strange full moon or something? I don't know. Don't think I've not been out of the house, so I can't have done anything like, you know, bad to a black cat or something to get any bad luck, but anyway, not to worry, we're getting there. Oh dear, only on the SDX, Jason. Ashley, I think we should all start a swear box and see who has the most money after a month of crafting. I think you're right. Might be me going on today's project. Maria Cook saying you're having one of my days, Ashley. Bet you're silently filling up the swear box. I am. But you know, these things happen, don't they? You know, they happen to us all, so we're just going to roll with it and, you know, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. If the project turns out at the end of it all well and good, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. It's a softer sound when it's on card, yeah. Yeah, probably because it's a denser. We'll see when we do the vellum. If you all want to stick with me, we'll do the vellum. We'll see when it's on the vellum. We know for a fact that the vellum's not going to be the right size because it doesn't fit on the piece I've got, but you know, we'll do our best with it and see. Mandy's saying, Ellen, I'd give you a run for your money. Okay, so it's piercing away. There's not a lot else I can do at the moment apart from wait for it. So has anybody got any questions or comments, or does anybody want to tell us what a rubbish day they've had, the same as I'm having at the moment? Okay, so it's done the pierced corners. It's now doing the scrolly design. Okay, you can't even see it, can you? glad you all got a wee laugh. I like the gold thread idea. Well, yeah, if anybody's got this piercing kit and they want to give it a go, post a picture on my forum. I remember one time I did a project, it'll be on the blog somewhere, but I think I used the rhinestone kit, and instead of filling the holes with rhinestones, I used embroidery thread, and I'm sure it was a heart. I did. So if you go to my website and click on the blog, there's a search box, and if you type in rhinestone or, I'm not sure, embroidered heart or something like that, it may come up. It will probably be from my old WordPress blog, but it should still show up on the blog that's on my website now, because I kind of migrated everything over. But I did do a card, and I used, you know, that embroidery thread that you do for cross stitch, and I went through the holes with that, but I've never tried anything like that with the piercing tool. You could maybe just do the piercing on vellum. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to try the envelope on the vellum, although the vellum we know is too small, but we're going to try it anyway. Have I tried the piercing tool on designer series paper? I think I have. We'll have a look. If you want to hang around with me, we'll just maybe call up, once we've done this and we've done the vellum, we'll call up a shape and we'll see if we can make it a pear shape, and we'll try that on some designer series paper. Try and get a piece of designer series paper while we're waiting. The first time I used my piercing kit, I unknowingly used poor quality card and couldn't get it off a brand new mat. Okay, well, that could be my next problem. That might happen to me. Heather, we'll soon find out in a minute, won't we? Oh no. But by the way, I love being able to see what people are doing on the forum. Lots of inspiration. Oh, thanks, Charlotte. Yeah, people are posting the projects, aren't they? Which is lovely. I've not been on the forum myself for a couple of days because I've been busy doing sewing projects. But yeah, I tend to go on most days. And people are posting the projects, and it's really nice, and I've seen that people are commenting to each other as well, which is lovely. I've just found some old designer series paper, so we can try that as well. I think this is getting on with its piercing, so yes, Lynn, you can create your own designs with the kit. While that's just piercing away, if I bring you back in to this one, and let me just put this down and zoom you in, see if you can see this. I showed this earlier. So can you see this? This star is just basically a star from the machine that I applied the pierce line on it, and then I just cut the star in half and stuck it on the front of a card. Charlotte's saying, how do you clean the piercing mat same as the regular mat? To be honest, Charlotte, I've not cleaned mine. I've not done anything with it at all. But yeah, maybe, I don't know. It might tell you in... It might tell you in the details that come with it. I'm just bringing my blinds down a little bit. Because I've got all the lights on in here. It is really sticky though, so I'm not sure. Probably, yeah, baby wipe, maybe. But as I say, I've not touched mine at all, so. I'm just going to zoom out in readiness for this coming off the machine. I think it's nearly finished. You're right, Lynn, I wouldn't like to batch make it either. Right, let's unload. Okay, so this is what we've got. Wouldn't like to... Thanks, still seems plenty sticky. Yeah. Right, I'm just going to flip the mat over and I'm going to remove the mat from the card rather than the other way round, and then hopefully, if you do it nice and slow, just kind of walk your hands behind it, it won't curl. Let me just put that on one side. So this, oh goodness sake, I've not cut the damn thing out. And I've removed it from the mat now, so I have messed up with this one. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go back into the machine and I'm going to go back to edit and I'm going to see what size it is, and we're going to cheat, and I'm just going to cut it with the with my trimmer, because I've messed up good and well. So it's one of them nights, isn't it? If everything's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong. So this needs to be 10 by 7. So let's see how big it actually is. So I need to, it's about 8, yeah, so we need to chop some off. So let's see what we can do. This might not even end up the right size, but I'm beyond caring now. Yes, Lynn. And it's too late. Just do it by hand, you're right. I'm going to. So I'm going to cut some off. And then let's see if we can get... So basically, before I unloaded the mat, we should have hit go back, and I should have then done cut. But we're going to roll with it because I'm beyond it now. So this is 11.5 and we want 10. So we've got 1.5 inches too much. So if we cut 3/4, should that be right? Let's just see. Let's move this out of the way. Oh. And my cutting's not even, but who cares now? I'm just going to try and zoom you in and see if you can see the pattern. There's always a place for a trimmer. Looks good anyway. I like it without cutting it. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was okay. So I mean, obviously I did mine in white card, but they're calling this a letter and an envelope, basically. So I'm guessing that, you know, you probably cut this and fold it and it should fit in the envelope. Let's just... if I've cut it to the right size, and it does, so... oh, dear me. Seven by 5, yeah, that's the envelope size. So this is 7 by 10, is what they're saying the letter is. But I mean, the, you know, the principle is right with the design and everything, the piercing design. So Ellen's saying, I have calculated by now you owe the swear box £5. Oh, God. Right. Let's bring this flipping mat back in and find a piece of vellum. Do you still want me to do the vellum? Or do you want me to try piercing paper? What a session, but I loved it. Do you know what? For anybody that's new tonight, they're not going to come back, are they? If they want to get a ruler out to measure, they're trying to find something to complain about. Oh dear. I don't know. You're right, what a session. Ashley and all, I must run along. Thank you so much, great class. Barbara's saying, yes, you want to still see the vellum, I think you're saying. So I'm going to put the vellum. Right, come on, let's go for the damn thing. Put this in. I'm going to go to home. OK to delete all patterns. I'm going to retrieve pattern from the machine. Scroll to the last page. Find the correct envelope. You watch, I'll get the wrong one. Say OK. I'm going to scan the vellum. You're all saying vellum, that's fine. Paul's saying, I think it's time for a gin and tonic or a glass of wine or 3. Can you have them for me, please, Paul? If you can stand it, I'd love to see the vellum. You're all right, Charlotte. Right, I'm going to go into the settings, make the background lighter, say OK. We know it's not going to fit on properly, but we're just going to have to live with it. Let me just see if I can group everything for now, for a minute. I'm just going to group everything just to move it slightly. I'm going to try and move it over a little bit. You watch, this will all go horribly wrong now. Just so we get a bit more of an even cut on the flaps, even though they're going to be too small. I'm going to say OK. Ungroup everything. I'm going to keep going. Let's see what we get. I'm going to choose pierce and just make sure we get what we should get. Yeah, that's looking okay. So we'll say start. Right. Don't let me unload the mat, anybody, for God's sake. Caroline's saying you've blown my mind today. What with all my mistakes, Caroline? You could just do the piercing and not the cutting. that should fit. Sorry, Ashley, have to go. You definitely deserve a medal. Take care. You're welcome. Sue's saying you still made me want the piercing tool. And P.S. you've had your G&T while watching. Well, can you have another one for me, please, Sue? Yeah, bye, Rachel. Hopefully this one shouldn't take too long. Don't unload the mat, I know. Keep shouting it at me, Ellen. I'm going to keep hold of my spatula. That might encourage me to remember I need to do something else. Don't unload the mat, yeah, I know. Oh no. If I keep reading that, hopefully it'll sink in. Don't be surprised if I do though. So while we're waiting, has anybody got any ideas for next week? I've got an idea going round in my head, but I need to try it before I do anything. So if I get time, I might try that myself this week. But Anita, Ashley, don't unload the mat. Yeah, I know. Thank you. I'm not nervous now about doing it wrong. I'm just watching all your comments. If I just keep reading them out loud, Ashley, don't unload the mat, I'll be okay. Hopefully. Okay, so it's done the pierced corner, the straight angular corner. It looks as though it's nearly finished a swirly corner, but I don't know whether it's done the other swirly corner or if this is only the first one. No, I don't know if it's, I can't see through the back of the machine, so we'll just have to wait and see. What's Jason saying? In London on the tube we had a sign that said mind the gap, so now we have a sign that says don't unload the mat. Oh, brilliant. In your opinion, what's the best or your favourite most used of the add-on kits? I think I use my vinyl blade a lot, although I've not used the vinyl activation designs, but the actual, for add-ons, the fabric blade or the vinyl blade. In fact, I've just got a small little tray that I've put on my windowsill this week that's got like a candle on it and that kind of thing. If there's a small enough design in the vinyl activation kit, I could maybe cut some vinyl again and put that on my little tray. So could maybe do that next week. This won't be quicker, but if you look at the layer view on Canvas Workspace, you can tell what cuts first, okay? It seems to cut from the bottom up. Yeah, that's what it looks as though it's doing, doesn't it? You know, if you look at the machine now, because it's done this bottom right-hand corner, and now it's gone up to the top left. So Mandy G saying, I'm sat here mesmerised by the piercing noise. It's saying it's got 2 minutes left, but hopefully it'll be less. Don't unload the mat. Don't unload the mat, that's what I'm going to keep saying to myself. Oh, for goodness sake. In fact, I'm going to hold the blade. If I hold the blade, do you think that'll remind me? So Lindsay, must admit this is looking so pretty on the vellum. I still sit and watch my ScanNCut, even just for ordinary cutting. I know it is mesmerising, isn't it, Barbara? Jason's the same. Whatever you do, we will be here. Oh, bless you, Anita. So have you all seen the sewing things I've been doing this week while we sat waiting for this? I've been doing some like notebook covers and little projects in the hoop projects. Good morning, sorry late. We'll watch from the beginning, Jeanette's saying. Hi Jeanette, don't worry, it's been a night of mistakes, so you may not want to watch at all. Charlotte's saying, Barbara, I do too. As soon as I leave it alone, it's like a toddler off to do something it shouldn't. People say that about embroidery sewing machines, don't they? You can sit there and watch them and they'll be fine, but the minute you turn your back, something goes wrong. Right. I'm going to say, okay. I'm going to go, please select, and I'm going to say cut. So I'm going to take the piercing tool out and put the blade in, and we'll say start. And it looks as though it's only going to cut what we think it should cut. And I'm not so sure if my machine just said it was on half cut, but hey ho, it is what it is now. So we know that this is going to cut in the wrong place. On the flaps, but we'll cut it anyway. So it's going to go off the vellum on this right hand side again. But then it's going to come back on and hopefully it will cut the rest of it. Right, what we're saying, I'm missing comments. Barbara, I do too. Yeah, I've got that. Anyone got the stamp add-on kit? No, I've not got it yet, Maria. Amanda G saying, yes, your notebooks look lovely. Haha, no way, love your stuff. I'm sitting on the fence for an SDX. Loved the look of the covers. Looking forward to the next quilting square. Yeah, that'll be live. Is it? When will that be actually? In about a week or so? 8 days? Last Tuesday, isn't it, in the month, I think the next one goes live. Yay, we didn't unload. Thanks, Anita. I've seen this craft before, but not sure if want to get it. Well, after all the mistakes tonight, Jeanette, you might decide not to get it. Yes, I like in the hoop, Lisa's saying. I love in the hoop. Yay, you remembered not to unload the mat. Yes, embroidery machines seem to have a mind of their own when we walk away. Wouldn't it be great if Brother could invent a way of seeing what the blade or penny's doing? Another screen with a camera attached to the underneath. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. So while that's just cutting, let me show you one of these. This is what I've been doing this week. Oh, it's finished now. So this is all done in the hoop. This is a notebook cover. And I've made, I don't know how many in the last week or so. It's got a little holder for your pen. You don't have to put that in. I've done like a diamond quilting on the front. I've done horizontal lines on the spine. And I love them. That's another one. I've got some more somewhere. Don't know what I've done with them. A couple of them are for presents. I love it, Paul. It's absolutely brilliant. I got the V5 LE. So Charlotte saying, I figure you've shown us enough things that go wrong and what to do about. Takes the fear away. I'm grateful for your mistakes. I learn as you go. Oh, thank you. Right, let me bring this in. So I've pierced and I've cut so I can unload. Yeah? Yeah. So this is what we've got so far. So I'm going to just flip it over and peel the mat away. And like I keep saying, if you've only just tuned in, if you peel the mat away, it helps your work not to curl as much. Love the fabric, gorgeous. Oh my word, that's beautiful, Ashley. That cover is beautiful and useful too. Yeah, have you got your hoop there? Yes, do you want to see it? I need to get duck feet raining again. Oh no. Right, let's get this off here. So just need to peel this away. Peel this one away. We know the flaps on the side are going to be a bit small, but you know what? It still might work. It still might be usable, you know, if on A4 rather than 12 by 12. So can you see that? It looks so much prettier on vellum. Try and get you in. Look how lovely that looks. So let's see. Bring the bone folder in. And then if we look at it compared to this one, not sure how well you're going to see this, but the flaps here, let's measure them. Let's just measure these flaps. They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7/8 or thereabouts on the original, which I cut from 12 by 12. But on the vellum, all as I did was centre the design within the A4, so the flaps are smaller, and they're not going to be even, obviously, because I didn't, you know, I didn't position it that well. But we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, just over ½ an inch on that one, and this one will be smaller because I didn't obviously get the centering dead right. But we have still got flaps, so we could probably still make this from A4. So you know, you might not need to have 12 by 12 vellum. Your flaps are just going to be narrower than on the orange one. I wonder if you'll see it better if I put it. Can you see it better if I put it on there? Let me try and zoom you in. and then bring it. Can you see that any better if it's on there, or can you see it better on there? In fact, it might be better there. So it probably will still work. So shall we, let me just find some, any old glue will do. Just going to put a little bit on here. Just stick this down a bit. So let's find the project. So it is still going to work. You will be able to cut it from A4. The only difference is your flaps are going to be narrower. So it will fit on the length, or it might have cut it off. I don't think it has actually though, has it? Because it's got the rounded corners, so it all appears to be right in the length. You're just going to have, if you look at it against the orange one, the flaps are going to be narrower. Right, let's see what we're saying. Very pretty, lovely. Sorry I have to go. It's fine, Maria, don't worry. So pretty. Amazing, Ashley. Love it. Definitely more striking on the vellum. Have to go now, so bye and keep safe. Yes, same to you, Barbara. Would make a great stationery gift. It would if you've got the patience to sit and do it all right. Another great fun session tonight, Ashley. The errors show us everyone is the same. Thanks again for your time and for a great laugh. You're welcome, Lynn. So we got there in the end, and yes, it will work from a UK A4 vellum, because our A4 is different to US, isn't it? We're 8, let me get this right, we're 8 1/4 wide by 11 3/4 high. And in the US, you're 8 wide by 11 1/2. So you've got slightly wider, but not as tall. So that's probably why it fits on the length, and that's where I'm missing out on the width. So that's lovely, nice and pretty. Let me just zoom out a little bit because you're in really close now. See if I can get that in. They both look lovely. Thanks for tonight. Great as always. Don't forget the thumbs up. Right, so who wanted, did somebody want to see the hoop? I need to scroll back. Who asked about my hoop? Ellen, have you got your hoop there, Ashley? Ellen, did you want to see the hoop? I'll just wait and see if I can see any comments. Just having a drink of my juice. Terry's saying looks great. Jason's saying thanks for yet again a useful tutorial. I'm not sure how useful it was, Jason, to be honest, with all the problems. Denise is saying thanks for a great session. Bet you'll be glad to see the back of the live. Thank you, Ashley, as always. Great and informative. Thanks, Lisa. Oh, DSP. Somebody wanted to see the DSP. Right. Let's bring the mat back in. And let me see if I can I just want something fairly plain in the hope that it might show up. Let's try this. So, piece of designer series paper. I wish I could give this one a double thumbs up, entertaining and great learning experience. Oh, thanks, Charlotte. Great live tonight. Felt so sorry for you, but it has taught us a lot. Go and lie down in a dark room. Oh, you're welcome. Ellen, yes, please. Right, okay, so let's do the hoop first. I'm going to have to zoom right out because I'm not sure how much. There you go. So this is the hoop that are used for these books. And you make them in 3 hoopings. So basically you make the front, the back, and you make the spine. And the spine's what joins it all together. And this is a 12 by 8 inch hoop, and for anybody in metric, I only know because it's written on it, it's 200 by 300. So this is the biggest one that came with my machine. There's a smaller one which is, I think it's a 4 by 4. Hang on. Yeah, it's a 4 by 4. It's got a piece of stabiliser in it because I was messing about with something yesterday. But this is, hang on, let me just screw this up. This is the 4 by 4 hoop. So my Janome used to have, I think it was a 5.5 by 5.5. And then the other bigger hoop that I had with that, I think was about 9 by 7 or something like that. I can't remember. So this one's got a 4 by 4 or this 12 by 8, and then obviously you can get other hoops. So is that any help, Ellen? Right, let me move these out of the way just to make myself some space. Just give me a minute. Just need to hang them back up out of the way. Yes, please. Please, see you all same time next week. Yes, same to you, Lynn, take care. Yes, please, DSP. Right, we've got a piece of DSP on the mat. Let's go back over here. I'm just going to say finish cutting, that's fine. Hit the home button, say OK to delete everything. I'm going to put this mat in. I'm just going to go into the basic shapes. I'm just going to do something simple after the night we've had. Let's find the star. We'll choose the star. Let's make it a bit bigger. Make it 6 inches, something like that. Right, we'll set that. I'm going to zoom you in because I don't know how well you can see this. Ooh, too much. Trying to just zoom you out a little bit. Right, let me just see. Yes, DSP. Ellen, yes, thank you. Just signed on US standard paper, 8.5 by 11. Yeah, so ours is 8.25 by 11 3/4. What is DSP? Okay, Sandra, it's short for designer series paper, which is basically, I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and it's what we call our pattern paper. So virtually all our pattern paper is double-sided, and we call it designer series paper, and we use the term DSP for short. Right, so we've got a star. Let me just moving you in a little bit. Not sure how well this is going to work or not. Trying to get rid of the glare because I've got all my lights on now with it going dark. Okay, so I'm going to go edit, object edit, and I'm going to go into the offset, and I'm going to use, let me think, what do we want? I'm going to use a minus. So I'm going to hit the minus button and go to 0. What should we do? 0.6. I'm going to say OK. What do I do next? I'm going to say OK. I'm going to use the arrows because I want the inner star, which is the minus 0.6 I've just set, hopefully. I'm going to say object edit, pierce, put the piercing on, say OK, OK again, OK again, OK, select, go to pierce, and hopefully it should just have one star. Yeah, so just going to put the, I took the piercing tool out of its holder. I'm just going to pop it back in, pop this into the machine, lock it in place, and select start. And hopefully it should pierce the inner star. So Paul's saying, would love a brother luminaire, but we'll have to wait till I have won the lottery. I can dream. They're so expensive, aren't they? You know, all those, is it the luminaire, and is it the dream machine, and the, is there another one? Is it the Solaris or something like that? I can't remember. They're so expensive. I mean, and I only just sew as a hobby. I don't do it as a business or anything, so. I'm just looking to see if I've done anything wrong, because, you know, based on tonight's experience, I've probably put it on the wrong mat, but no, I haven't. I've got the right mat, I've got the piercing tool in. Fingers crossed, let's see what happens. What weight is DSP? I can't remember, Mandy, but if you go to my website, applelover53.co.uk, and you click on the Stampin' Up tab, I think there's a help and information section under that tab, and there's a PDF that tells you all the weights of the cardstock and the designer series paper. It'll be under the Stampin' Up tab. I just can't remember what it's down as. It might be like helpful information, or I can't remember, but it's under the Stampin' Up tab. It will lead you to a page, and then there's lots of PDF documents, and I think it's the bottom document. It says what the gram is for all the cardstock, the white and the coloured, and the designer series paper. I want to say 180, but I may be totally wrong. I don't know how well you're going to see this actually on here, because with it being the green, so you might not even see the piercing on this at all, but at least it'll show you that it does do it. Don't unload the mat, thank you, I know. I'm going to hold the blade, I'm going to hold the blade, and then hopefully I won't forget. Like I say, I'm not sure how well you're going to see the piercing on this. Ellen, it's fine, don't worry. Don't forget to put the £5 in the swear box. I know. Could be more, Ellen, by the time I finish this. Okay, I'm going to say okay. I'm going to say select. I'm going to go to cut, and hopefully we'll only have one star. Take that out, put the blade in, and press start. Okay, let's unload, peel this away. Just need to find the star now on here. So like we were saying before, it's got those like little pips that hold it in place. So that's literally what I'm just pressing on now to pop this out. You're not going to be able to see the pierced holes in this, but they are there. But it's pierced it. Might see it better on this side actually. So it's pierced it and then it's cut it. So basically I made the star 6 inches, and then in the offset icon I made it minus 0.6, and the pierce line is, let me see if I can't hold it. I'm going to see if I can zoom in and see if it's any better. Just give me a minute. Let's zoom you in as close as I can get you. You still can't really see it, but basically, hang on, let me, oh, sorry, wrong way. So this is the pierce line here. Okay, and that's just the default pierce line that's in the machine. You could make it bigger, you could make it smaller, but yeah, so you can use designer series paper, you can use it on any shape of your own. Lovely on the vellum, thanks Ashley, enjoy a well-deserved cuppa or something stronger. Yeah, thanks Elaine. Anita saying you can, Ashley. Can see on both sides. Okay, you can see it. All right, that's fine. So it's here. This is the wrong side, obviously. So it pierces into the right side. But if you like the look of the reverse side, then I suppose it's a bit like embossing, isn't it, where you've got the embossed and the deboss. It depends which way you prefer. Okay. Caroline's saying cheers. Yeah, thank you. Right, any last minute questions or anything before I go? Just going to put the lid back on this. So that was the piercing tool for what it's worth. So 0.4 millimeters, 0.8 millimeters, the holder, the mat, and the designs that come on the activation card. Can see it. Oh, Terry's saying you can see it. Okay, great. Yeah, you have a lovely week, Heather, as well. I'm just going to put this cover back on this. Magdalena saying thank you, you've learned. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you're still smiling. Have a great week. And you, Mandy, thank you. Do the clocks go forward? Yes, Heather, next Saturday night, kind of Saturday night, early hours of Sunday morning. Forward an hour. Charlotte, you're welcome. It's fine, honestly. I think this is one of the longest ones. Oh, thanks, Anita. See you next week. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so must remember to do the census form. Oh, blimey, yeah, I don't think I've done mine. Elaine, that is, yeah. I'm off now, thanks again, take care. Yeah, take care, Lynn. Right, I'm going to go. I'll speak to you all next week, if not before. Denise is saying, being great, and thank you for doing so much, being wonderful. Oh, dear. It's been a test, hasn't it? It's definitely been a test. Right, I'm going.